We want to check in with our meteorologist, Ian, as they are tracking it. Ian's not our meteorologist. Trent is. Ian is the hurricane we're tracking. So I see that red box behind you. That's a tornado watch box, and we can see the bands are already affecting Southwest Florida. So what are we seeing?
Yeah, you know, we've been chatting. It's kind of amazing that yesterday we saw the outermost rain bands, that northern fringe of the moisture with this storm. And this morning we have got a tornado watch box. The Storms Prediction Center is who is responsible for issuing these watch boxes. And it is very, very common that, especially on the right front quadrant of a hurricane, and that's where we're at right now, for the atmosphere to be very prime. It's spinning with height. So they issued this tornado watch box as the indications are here that the atmosphere will be capable of producing a few tornadoes here throughout the day. We've had one warning so far for Isla Mirada, and as these individual little cells start to move up, we'll have to watch for rotation. Currently, some of the worst weather is down in the lower Keys, from the dry Tortugas all the way over towards Key West, and you can see that light to moderate rain shower there from Fort Lauderdale all the way towards Miami. Roughly 280 miles or less is the center right now of Hurricane Ian. We've been tracking this over the last couple of days for the possibility of some type of movement or wobble off the northern coast there of Cuba. And this morning made landfall as a Category 3 south of Pinar del Rio. And now we are seeing this movement that is more off to the northeast. It becomes more and more distinguished here over the last few hours. Now, whether or not this is just due to the friction of the interaction with this small part of Cuba, or if it's more of a whole movement, is yet to be seen. But right now the movement is clearly off to the northeast. One of the nice things about the storm being close enough for the Key West radar to pick it up is that we can, what we call nowcast, look at the storm, watch trends, and begin to forecast a little bit better without the help of computer models. And I want you to look at something here north of the Keys, from Marathon to Key Largo. You see each one of these distinctive little cells. This is the areas that we watch for those possible little tornadoes. But boy, do they move fast, especially closer that you get to the center. The good news as a hurricane approaches, most of us are hunkered down anyway, right? If you happen to be under a tornado warning later on today, just stay in an interior room away from windows. They're very quick movers. Right now, this tornado watch box includes Collier and Hendry County until 5 o'clock. And you can see light to moderate rain showers there north of Naples, but a little heavier stuff right now south, Everglades City, and eventually up towards Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda. As far as the latest 8 o'clock advisory, 125 mile per hour winds with that movement off to the north. Now, as far as the forecast track, Lauren, this is what we're expecting to shift closer to Venice, according to the governor's hurricane conference, and that will allow for a Category 3 hurricane to move on shore. Lauren, go ahead and walk us through the latest here with the wind field. So when we get that 11 o'clock advisory, we can compare apples to apples here in the next few hours.
Yeah, so again, we're going to have a new update coming up in less than an hour when it comes to that track. But I want to put it into perspective to you when you can start to see those gusty conditions start to arrive. So the red right here is going to be those hurricane force winds, and outwards we're going to start to see those tropical storm force winds arriving. That will be late tonight. They will continue, and you can see them worsening as we get into tomorrow afternoon, as that orange, that's wind speeds between 58 to 73 miles per hour, push onshore. That is going to be for coastal Lee and also Charlotte counties, moving up through Sarasota County. And there you can see it's going to be just north of Sarasota right there, and dealing with some really hurricane-like conditions as it crosses over.